right, welcome to this webinar. I'm so glad to have you here. Now, in this video, I'm going to be sitting down with the founder of Credit and Mr. Zach, and we'll be explaining what is blockchain analytics, how is it different, from any other analytics you've heard about, and how you, a graduate, someone that just graduated, someone that whether you're abroad, you're within Africa or outside Africa, how you can tap into this and how everyday people can break into this new career, right? It's a new career, it's a new space that it's not really crowded. So, what is this blockchain analytics? What is about, and how beginners really can understand and start learning blockchain analytics? Now, let's welcome Mr. Zach, the founder of Credit. Mr. Zach, we're happy to have you here, sir.
All right, I'm glad to be here. Good morning, good
Yeah.
afternoon, everyone. Depending on when you're listening to this webinar, I'm going to be here. Thank you.
For the people meeting for the first time, right? Can you tell us who you are and what's your background in data and technology, right?
My name is Zach Wale, and most people call me Zach. I'm passionate about where technology, data, and human transformation meets because I'm also very passionate about human transformation. So over the years, I've worked with organizations like Yellow Card Financial. I've worked with organizations like James Financial Consulting. There is a Microsoft partner. I've worked with a good number of companies over the years, in the last 8 years of being in this space. And I'm also the co-founder of Credit. My journey has always been about helping people use technologies to open doors that they didn't even know exist. Yeah.
So at what moment did you realize that Web3 and blockchain analytics was going to be like the major space, of the future?
This was about 4 years ago when I discovered that, okay, this blockchain, we talked about Bitcoin, a lot of companies are now integrating stable coins into their fintech products. And I said, well, a lot of fintechs are now trying to integrate this into their trying to create some form of cross-border financial solutions,
Yeah.
ensuring that banked people all over the world are now having access to some kind of financial service. And since they are now using blockchain technology to power it, that means that these companies are going to be needing blockchain. They're going to need data professionals that understand blockchain technology, and it was an entirely new space. So I thought, well, this is a blue ocean. When you talk about blue ocean strategy, red ocean strategy,
Yeah.
and this is a competitive space, and I think I want to give it a go. And there's a whole lot of opportunity in this space. I know a lot of people are very hyped about AI now,
Yeah.
but is that quiet disruption that is going on, changing the world of finance. There's a whole lot of opportunity in that space. I'm going to cover it in this seminar, this webinar. Sorry. Thank you.
So I would love to ask, what is the difference between the traditional data analytics and blockchain analytics? Like, what's the difference?
Okay. Traditional data, as I said, when we say traditional, we talk about Web2. That is
Okay.
what we are familiar with all over the internet. Social media, the internet as we know it, the digital space as we know it. Everyone is in Web2. Web3 is that promise of the blockchain technology to bring the next level of the internet that brings an entirely value chain,
Mm.
a new business model for companies on how we function in the digital space. And the promise of Web3 is basically decentralization. Trustless is a trustless technology. When I mean trustless means it's a technology that does not require middleman. So you discover that on the internet, most of the payments we make when we do transactions or that companies do transactions, there's always a middleman that establishes
Yeah.
trust. Web3 removes all of that. That's why we call it trustless. And because the technology is fundamentally different in the way it was, in principle, right? Um, Traditional data or Web2 data analysis means, for example, working inside the company, looking at private data you can't share. Blockchain analytics is about working with decentralized data, open public data sets, like Ethereum, Solana. These are blockchain networks, right?
Yeah.
Blockchain networks. Maybe many of us are familiar with Bitcoin, right, and Ethereum, but there are a whole lot of blockchain networks. There are at least 100 out there blockchain networks, and it's not just about the numbers. It's about tracing transactions, understanding market movements, uncovering insight that can impact millions of people. And a lot of companies now all over the world, startups, fintechs are now using blockchain for for their financial services. Blockchain is powering their financial services, and the way they go about it is entirely and fundamentally different from the way we know the fintechs of today, right? And it is already they are already getting mainstream. They are going mainstream. There's already institutional adoption. So that means that when we look at blockchain analytics, it means understanding the network, the blockchain networks. It means understanding some of the protocols on the blockchain. It means understanding how private keys work, how wallets work. It means understanding how transactions work on the blockchain and how to analyze those data.
So I would love to ask, going to the future, why is it important for, young graduates or Africans staying in diaspora to learn about, blockchain analytics? Why is it important?
Okay, well, this is a very important question, and I want to take my time to say, to establish this. So let me try to bring up something on the screen. And here I say why blockchain data analytics, and
Yeah.
the reason why is if you check this what you see on the screen now is just a way to show you that this blockchain is not for some crypto kid that is back there. And why should a young graduate focus on it? You don't want to start focusing in a career path that will become extinct or become irrelevant in the nearest future, right? For example, AI is there now, is already disrupting a lot of things. A lot of people are learning things that are becoming irrelevant. Now, because blockchain is a fourth industrial revolution technology, right? It is not going anywhere soon. It cannot even be disrupted by AI. In fact, there is the marriage between AI and blockchain. We call it decentralized intelligence, right? It
Mm,
just goes simply, they are like cousins or they're like twins, right? Because one complements the other. Now, this blockchain space, there's a whole lot of opportunity, and the native, let me say, the native, or should I say the blockchain native companies, right? Their mode of work, their native mode of work is remote first. They are not like the
mm,
normal companies that you hear they say, oh, hybrid, or you have to have 10 years of experience. See, the blockchain space is very different. It's very different. Let me put it that way. It's very,
yeah.
very different. And there's a lot of opportunities for young graduates. There's a lot of opportunities for people that are looking for a career path that is future proof. And the reason why is because if you can understand blockchain data, it gives you that edge over a lot of people that are still not are familiar with this technology as it is now. Yes, let me say we have about maybe 7 billion people in the world, and
Yeah.
out of that 7 billion people, we have a workforce of about, let me say, 3 billion. I can tell you the entire people that are in blockchain currently now is just 500 million people in blockchain, in Web3 space, doing anything
Mm,
that's related to building Web3. Maybe a blockchain engineer or blockchain analyst or, is founder in the blockchain, just 500 million people. Can you imagine? That is very small compared to the population of the workforce of the world. That means a lot of
yeah.
people are familiar with this as much as it is. So you learn this skill, it just puts you in that niche where there is lesser competition for you to what shine. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So, and that is what I've seen. For example, some of you want to work abroad, you want to earn in dollars. Most of these blockchain fintech companies, right? They don't actually care about um, you know, how many years. As long as they can see your portfolio and you know what to do, and you are vocal, you can put your work on Twitter or LinkedIn, let them see. They will employ you. Nobody's going to, and they pay you well. They pay you, in stable coin, maybe USDT and
Yeah.
equivalent to US dollars, and you earn from anywhere in the world. That's what a lot of young people that know what's going on are doing now, right? If you are going to have that same level of experience, years of experience, and you want to work with the normal and traditional fintech space, they are always restricted by laws in the company, in the country where they work, or they say, oh, they want you to be in Europe, they want you to be, are you in the United States, or all of that. For example, people in the UK, they are having issues with they learn a skill, let me say you learn a data skill or you learn a product management skill, or some of and you have
Yeah.
been asked, or do you have a certificate, or do you have a reference? They ask you, do you have a reference that is going to put your name down? An average company in the blockchain space, they don't ask. For example, I
Mm.
work, with a company in Europe currently, and I'm currently in Nigeria here, and nobody in my 4 years of working in this space, in the blockchain industry space, I have not seen any company in the blockchain space ask me for reference, or am I in Europe, or am I in, they don't really care if I can get that opportunity while I'm still in Nigeria. If you're in the UK, if you're in the US, if you're in Canada, and you're having issue because they're only restricting you to menial jobs like care jobs, or all of those jobs that you don't want, and you want to work fully remote, right? Some of you have kids, you want a job that will make you have time for your kids. You can be working from home, fully from home. This industry is natively fully remote. That is one of the things that I tell immigrants. I speak with people abroad that see this industry. You see, when I was speaking with someone in the UK, and the person said, "Oh, one of the issues that a lot of people have is a lot of people in the UK have working class people is they want job that gives them full remote access so that they can have time for their children, young children. A lot of you are young immigrants, young couples, right? This gives you that opportunity, right? And this blockchain analytics is not so complex as much as some people will think. It is not complex. And that is why we are here to decouple it for you. We are here to destack it for you and make it very easy. Yes.
Many young graduates feel like they're stuck with low paying jobs, or no jobs at all, which is the usual economy in most nations, especially third world nations like Nigeria, right? So how does blockchain analytics actually break that cycle, the cycle of no job or low paying jobs? So how does blockchain analytics break that cycle?
Okay. So as we said, as I said earlier, this niche, the blockchain space, is a very relatively new space, less than 10 years in terms of looking at it from the perspective of an industry. And the
Mm.
blockchain data space is relatively new. So there's less competition there, and most blockchain companies are, remote first companies. So they don't have these this digital world and say, oh, you cannot work with us from this part of the world and all of that. And most of them, because it's a young industry and it is driven a lot by millennials and Gen Zs, they don't really care about the legacy work structure we met when we were growing up. That means that
Mm.
they don't care if you have so many years of experience, the portfolio you have, and I keep saying it is the portfolio. Um, do projects, and that is why we are even doing this. We are going to guide you in all of that. You do projects, you get fully remote roles. You can work with blockchain companies in Nigeria, in Africa, generally in South Africa, in Dubai, in the Middle East, in Europe, in US, right? So there is less competition there. The data analytics skill is good, but it is overcrowded, right? And so many people now, but when you add the mix of blockchain data to it, you discover that there are less people there, and that gives you the opportunity to shine faster.
So I want to talk about people that are immigrants, right? People that are outside the country, people that are outside the shores of Africa. So they often find it hard to break into good paying roles, good paying jobs abroad, maybe because of some rules or settings. So how does blockchain analytics level that playing field, especially when they're coming to a new environment that they might not have a lot of connection, they don't know a lot of people, and they're just starting out. So how does blockchain analytics level the playing field?
So let me say this: you discover that, for example, let me use Nigeria as an example. Nigeria has the second highest adoption in the use of cryptocurrency worldwide, and I'm
Mm.
just saying that now. That means that emerging markets, what people term the global south, African economies, emerging economies in the Southern America, Latin America area, they are taking the charge in this industry because it is relatively new. So this is not an industry that has been there for years where maybe Africa is lagging behind. Africa is not lagging behind, and African immigrants should not lag behind. So you discover
Mm.
African immigrants, when they relocate abroad, they say, "Oh, we don't have certification, or you need to have UK experience to be able to get a job." In this industry, nobody really cares about UK experience because this is not, location specific where it is tied to location. No, it is about the industry. What can you do? And I keep saying the portfolio, right? And there is a low barrier to entry. So many
Mm,
immigrant families, you have families, you want to learn and work from home. That's or this industry gives you that because it is remote first. Most
wow.
blockchain companies are remote first, and there's low barrier to entry because there's really no much competition. I was discussing with a recruiter some time back, and he said there's just not so there's not so amount of talent in this
Mm,
industry in terms of people to meet the demand for how the industry is growing. So the industry is growing, expanding rapidly. And one of the reasons why is because if you look at this slide now, this slide I just put here, you see, it's
yeah.
saying something about they say the US, for example, recently just regulated the cryptocurrency industry in the United States. And United States is a world power. That basically means that um, the US government has put its own credibility at stake for this industry.
That's the
President in the White
wow.
House. That means that global companies, institutional companies are backing it. Mastercard, PayPal, Visa, they are already launching their own blockchain products, right? BlackRock,
Yeah.
the largest asset manager in the world, they're already doing tokenized for. That means that what this industry is expanding rapidly, and there's
Mm,
just little amount of talent to meet up for the demand. So there's a lot of opportunity. And as an immigrant, you should not, you should not limit yourself to, oh, yeah, I need to get a UK experience. Nobody's going to ask you for a UK experience in the blockchain industry. What they will
yeah.
ask you is, you have Web3 experience and are you enthusiastic about the industry?
So, what makes Credit like different? Like, what makes Credit blockchain analytics program different from other tech courses out there?
What makes Credit stand out is you get to learn from professionals in the industry, which I am, and others in the industry that are also in the industry that they'll be training you. So you are going not just you're not learning from people that's taking you theory or they learn so that they can teach you. No, you're working with people
Mm,
that are working in the industry. That's one. That means you're not only going to be taught the technical skills, you also be taught the soft skills, the way around getting how to get a job in this industry. There's a
mm,
way to get it in this industry. And I for one I've been in this industry in the last 4 5 years now. There is actually a way to get it. For example, now many of the jobs that they advertise in the blockchain space, Web3 space, not
yeah.
normally don't see them on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is the default
Yeah.
place people search for job. You see, there is a way to find opportunities in this industry, and that's part of what you'll be finding because we're not just going to teach you, we are also going to guide you how to earn, in your USD.
Mm. That's really unique. That's a really unique proposition because most places where you learn courses, they don't teach you how to find the jobs, right? They just teach you the skill, and then you're basically left on your own to go and fend for yourself. If someone is on the fence, right, and they're wondering if they should learn this skill right now, they don't have a tech background, they don't really know much about blockchain analytics, all that stuff. The words are really fancy to many people like Web3, they're new in this space. Like, so what would you say? What is your advice? Like, if people are wondering that if they should take this course right now, what would you say to them?
Well, in just 2 sentence or 3 sentence, if you can follow instructions, commit a few hours in a week, and stay curious, you can do it. We've designed the program for people starting from scratch. We've also designed the
Yeah.
program for people, pivoting from one career path to this path. So I will walk you through every step. So you don't really need to have a tech background. And with the advent of AI, it makes it even easier and faster to learn. So just be rest assured, this is not to mean that you must have a technical background. No, anyone can learn it as long as you can commit a few hours per week, you can follow instructions and stay curious. And I believe every average person should be able to do that. Yeah.
If somebody was to register right now with Credit learn the skill, where would they fit in the next 5 years? Because we're looking for that assurance, that guarantee that this space is safe for me to, start my journey, transition to a new career, or not start learning. So where will I be if I decide to take Credit course? Where will I be the next 5 years?
Okay, let me start from the industry where I believe in the next 5 years, the majority of financial activity we have a Web3 layer in the sense that it will be powered by, decentralized technology like blockchain. And that means every serious company will need people who understand blockchain data. So our
Mm,
students be the ones those companies will call first. I can tell you that.
mm. The next 5 years, what do you see in the finance and technology industry? And also your students, people learning this blockchain analytics with Credit, where do they fit in the future in the next 5 years? So I would love for you to answer that.
All right. In brief, I would just say in the next 5 years, I believe the majority of financial activity will have a Web3 layer. So we have a Web3 layer
Yeah.
where everything on the internet is going to be Web3 powered, blockchain, decentralized technology. That means every serious company will need people who understand blockchain data when it comes to analyzing blockchain data, having insight as regarding Web3 activities. And our students will be the ones those companies will call first. Let's say, for example,
Mm,
we have 50 million people in the workforce in terms of in the Web3 space in the next 5 years. I want
mm,
about 10%, up to 10% of that should be able to refer to credit that, oh, I learned from credit. Because see, our goal is we have a long-term vision where
yeah,
we're not just coming here to teach you and dump you. No,
mm,
that's why we're building a community around this. As you are learning, all the people that are learning from us, we are having a community, where people can refer themselves for jobs. You can leverage on the credibility the company has. Say, okay, I learned Web3 analytics from Credit Lane, or we just,
credit line.
does opens the door for employment in that space. So I'm going to be guiding people on a long term, to not just get a job, but also get bigger jobs after the first job they get and get a much bigger job after the second job they get. That's our goal, right? So that is the long
Yeah.
term goal. Where our students will be the one these companies will come first.
Wow, that's a beautiful goal, because from what you're saying, it's like you're following the students grow, you're helping them grow step by step, you're helping them get to the next level and not just leaving them by the side. And you basically said something that is, I think it's a pinpoint. It's a reality for most Africans, most Black people, even Black Americans, right? People that are born in that particular country face. So now building that support system, that community, I think that's a huge networking power. And you're not just, helping them get, you know, to the next level, but you're giving them that foundation, right? Give them that credibility, that trust, that name that they can leverage on and work on, right? Because some companies, some people, right, if they say they have worked with Google before, it's very easy for them to land the next big role if they worked with Facebook before. So it's similar what Creditland is doing, right? Saying I've learned from Creditland helps them land that next big role. So yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Zach, for your time. Thank you for, you're a very busy person. Thank you for creating that time to speak, answer questions that, a lot of people will have, for both young people, migrants, people just finishing school, and you're able to give your time to answer this. Really appreciate you, and thank you for taking this session. So yeah,
No
thank you
problem.
so much for your time, sir. This skill, blockchain analytics, is the way to go. It's the future, it is now. And I believe if you hop on this now and use a platform like Credit that is future based, you'll be landing the best roles, you'll be getting paid the best, you'll become valuable, and you also bring other people on board too. So this is my call to you. Get the course, click on, you'll see a button below this video, pay for it, enroll for it. We also have different discounts. We also have different payment systems. So take advantage of this offer. Don't let this court waste. Don't let it pass you by. This opportunity is once in a lifetime, right? It's once in a lifetime. The early bird eats the fattest one. So that's our close for you for now. So see you on the next one. I hope to see you in the course. Bye for now.